you holding out hope that James Van Riemsdyk will be available to you tomorrow?
Yeah, he skated for the 40 minutes this morning, and just again, there's improvement, but we'll see if he's available to us for tomorrow night. Hopefully with another 24 hours and a couple of treatments that he'll be back.
Is this a great time in the schedule for an injury as such and for your team in general in terms of getting some good practices in?
It's the quality of practice is tough because when you play every second day, you've got to always count on recovery as being a big part of it. We've always said that if you don't or you can't have your players recovered at 100% plus, then it's hard to ask them to go out and give you 110%, and that's really what you ask for. So we always try to focus on the rest and recovery time as much as we do the quality of practice time. And obviously we have to ramp up the quality of our play, so there's no better time to do it than in practice.
You talked about every game not necessarily being a masterpiece. When you've got as many skilled players as you have, they seem to have been able to get out of trouble just using their skill like they did on that tic-tac-toe play in the first period.
Well, of course, you try to utilize the skill that you have in your lineup, and the power play is one area that, they get a chance to shine and they get more time and space. So I think, again, we've been fortunate enough to come back and find ways to get points, but it's a nervous time in the coach's office because of the number of shot differential and the quality of chances that we're giving up.
And you said before the season that you wanted to be more of a puck possession team, that you want to play a little more like Detroit, that would be to your advantage, and I guess you haven't really seen that yet.
Not at all. It's right now it's one of those things that I don't think in some areas that, that when we review and review and review, there's just some areas that we're really absent in. And that's our job as a coaching staff, is to try to continue to find ways to improve our play without losing sight of the fact that, that we've had some success, but we know that that's going to turn against us at some point if we continue to play to the level we're playing.
How do you fix it? As a coach, how do you kind of massage that aspect of the game?
Well, that's the delivery of it. It's when you're pleading for people's attention and looking to your group, sometimes it has to come from them. They'll look in the mirror. Sometimes you don't like what you see. And that's one of those things that you try to plead to everybody's individual preparation, their focus, their work ethic, do a little bit of self-evaluation, and we try to make sure that they're constant in that, and that we are as coaches, that what can we do to help this team change the way we're playing.
Harder to do when you're 6-1 though, right?
Well, there is some things that do get in the way, but 6-1 is only a stat, and we really know the body of work has to improve. And yeah, we're happy to take 6-1, but there's a but. There's always a but for coaches. That's just the way it is, and that's the life we lead. But it is a results-oriented business, and we have to continue to strive for a higher level of execution and a higher level of work ethic, or the success is not going to be something that's going to happen on a night-to-night basis.
What was Tulum and Clarkson are two guys that would help you with the puck possession game when they get in the line?
Yeah, but that's, again, you can't use those as excuses. We have people here that are NHL quality. We have some young kids that are getting their feet wet. We have some veteran guys that are playing and delivering from an offensive standpoint, but obviously there's lots of areas in which we can improve on.
Are you more or less pleased with the call-ups, with the work that they've given you?
Well, I think it's very unfair to start to put undue pressure on a group of youngsters that are, first to second, maybe third, fourth NHL game. But what we tried to do is match the people up where we think that they would fit best. If David Brohl, for example, we don't think David Brohl is a top 6 NHL player now, but we're forced to play him with Lupul and Kadri because we believe he's smart enough, he makes decent enough decisions, he understands his role. So it really is, it's hard to say that that he's not going to be a good player. That's not what we're saying. We just don't see him as a top 6 forward right now.
Randy, what's the impact been from a Cody Franson to someone like a Morgan Riley so far this year?
Well, I think there's been some positives, but I think there's been some negatives also. I think when Cody has struggled, I look to the missing at training camp. You know, there's that initial rush when you come back. He only had less than a week of training camp. He came back in and played very well, and then all of a sudden the luster of coming back and the excitement, and you get into the doldrums of playing in a schedule, and then you don't have the foundation of a training camp underneath him. Your body's got some aches and pains and some stiffness here and a sore here. So that's the kind of stuff that starts to happen now because of lack of training camp.
Do you think when you have a game where it's 37-14 in shots, that will get the players' attention? Because there's kind of no hiding from the sharpness of that differential.
Yeah, you can hide behind 6-1 and 4-1.
Right.
That's what, rightly or wrongly, that's what athletes do. You know, that's part of it.
You had a team in Anaheim that wasn't a great shot possession team. It was one of the last teams you had there that made the playoffs. I think it was maybe 2008 or so. So you've done it before, and you did it last year with a team. It wasn't a huge possession team, but you managed to get there.
Yeah, well, we had different team, different conference, a lot of differences. You know, from when you do comparisons from years gone by. You know, the team that we had then, I can remember the personnel that we had was, we were in a transition when we lost Niedermeyer, Pronger. You know, we were bringing young players in our lineup. Didn't have the depth throughout our lineup that, you know, that this team has or they have now. You know, there's different transition years that hockey clubs go through, and you know, it's one of the things that we know we can play to a higher level and play a better puck possession game than what we have so far. And we're just going to continue to strive and push for that.